The 2022 Defender 90 is a big, bold, brash, British SUV, especially when it's packing the 5-liter supercharged V8 like this one is today. So what if you have this car and you want to go out on some sort of a road trip? Well, what sort of fuel economy will it get on the highway? Today, mostly for entertainment purposes, we're going to find out. This is Christopher Brower here with Daily Motor, and today we're running the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2022 Land Rover Defender 90 V8. And, well, I'm quite excited. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. So, this is the Defender 90, which means it's the two-door version of Land Rover's newest creation. Sort of a nostalgic revamp of the old Land Rover Defender, and we actually get this one in America this time, so that is quite exciting. As I mentioned, under the hood, a 5-liter supercharged V8 with 518 horsepower and 461 foot-pounds of torque, and well, alongside the big supercharged V8, it's not exactly aerodynamic, is it? So this will be quite interesting to see what this thing actually gets on the highway. If you guys are curious to learn more about the Defender 90, if you want to get a full review, or if you want to just know about the Meridian sound system, I will have links down below to my full behind-the-wheel review and Charlie's Meridian sound system test. But today, we want to find out just how efficient this big supercharged rolling brick is. So why don't we get started and find out? So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's highway fuel economy test, which gives this V8 Defender 90 19 MPG on the highway, surprisingly, only averages 48 miles per hour. And we know that some people like to actually take their vehicles on road trips. So what we traditionally do is go out 50 miles, back 50 miles, averaging a speed of 70 miles per hour. But today, since we're in a big thirsty V8 with a mileage limit, we're gonna go out 25 miles, back 25 miles, and see what this Defender 90 averages. So again, EPA is 19. Hopefully we'll be able to see maybe in the 20s, who knows? A couple things worth noting. Outside temperature today is 69 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna be running the climate control in here at 73 degrees auto. Tire pressures have been set to their factory door placard indicated 44 PSI front and 50 PSI rear. We're also going to be using the same pump both times, using the same 3-click fueling method to get the most accurate result possible. All right, we've pulled up to the pump. Let's go ahead, get out, and get our first fill. All right, and 8.8 gallons of premium fuel, of course, in for our first fill. All right, and let's go ahead and get started. So this Land Rover Defender has an auto trip function, so that will already be reset when I start the car. Let's go ahead and start our timer there. Set our trip. Gonna go ahead and click auto on our climate control. And let's go ahead and get going here. So a couple of different drive modes on this Defender. You get to them by using one of the climate knobs. It's actually quite convenient. It's very close to where your hands are here, down here, and the knobs are used for multiple things, which is nice. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and run this in eco mode today. We do have dynamic, comfort, and a bunch of off-road modes, but to give this Defender the best chance today, we're gonna be running in eco mode. And the highway is about a half mile away, so I will check in with you guys once I am merging on. Now, the purpose of this test is not to hypermile. I'm simply going to merge onto the highway, get up to speed, and set the cruise control to a GPS-indicated 72 miles per hour. That'll give us a nice baseline figure throughout this whole video. All right, that is set. And we do actually have radar-guided cruise on this Defender, which is nice to see. All right, guys, please excuse the technical difficulties today. I just went ahead and removed my GPS phone because it's not working today. And also, Apple CarPlay has decided that it does not want to work either. So For today's test, we're going to go off of the car's indicated 72 miles per hour, and we're just going to run with that. So sit back, relax. First highway impressions with this Defender 90, it's honestly quite comfortable. The air suspension helps quite a bit in the ride department, and even for having such a straight up and down windshield, the wind intrusion is not too bad. Road noise isn't too bad either, so really not a bad car. When you think about it, it's actually quite interesting because other cars that are similar to this, i.e. Jeep Wrangler, Ford Bronco, yes, they're in lower price classes, they're quite a bit cheaper than this car. They're very loud and brash on the highway, whereas this Defender is actually quite comfortable. So a pretty comfortable experience so far. And as I mentioned earlier, today's going to be a bit of an abbreviated test, so I will catch up with you guys in about 45 miles. Finishing up our test here in the Land Rover Defender. Just about 8 miles left, and honestly, I don't really have any complaints other than the fact that the auto climate control is making me sweat, but it could just be because it's set to 73 and I've got jeans on. But anyways, other than that, honestly guys, it's really, really comfortable. The ride is sublime. There's very minimal wind intrusion, road intrusion, and well, the steering wheel's Alcantara, so all of the sweat from my hands has just been nice and soaked up. But no, on a real serious note, the adaptive cruise control works well. Lane keep assist is there. It's really not the best thing in the world, but that does a decent job as well. And actually, the car has an average readout of 19.7 MPG. So if that turns out to be accurate, we'll have beaten EPA just barely, but still. Any small victory we can have here for the Defender is a good one. So I'm going to finish out my last about 5 miles, and I will catch up with you guys once I am at the pump. Oh, also I forgot to mention, I got my technical difficulties sorted. I've got Waze up, which is giving me the real GPS speed of 72, which is indicated 71 on the car. So we will have an accurate trip. I've also done the calculation for how far the route is that I did today. So no worries about technical difficulties. We've got it sorted out, so we'll be able to have an accurate number for you guys. All right, I'm gonna do my last couple of miles, and I'll meet you guys at the pump. All right, guys, 2.634 gallons in there for our final fill. All right, let's go ahead and do our calculation. So today's journey of 50.2 miles on our shortened route. Divide that by our 2.634 gallons of gas, and that gives us 19 miles per gallon even. There you go. The Defender 90 V8 has met EPA. Now the car actually at the end was reading 20.1, so if you wanted to do something where you average the car in our math, I mean, it would get you right in the middle at 19.5, but this is a win for me, seeing that the Defender has actually met EPA, and while the car was actually a bit optimistic at 20. I was kind of hoping for 20, but whatever, it's all right. We met EPA and showed that this big rolling brick can meet its EPA rating, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, that'll wrap it up for us today. I really, really do like this Defender 90. Bad fuel economy aside, it is really, really a special car. And if you click the link in the description to my full review, you'll be able to see that, and really appreciate this car for what it is. All right, guys, well, thank you all so much for watching this slightly abbreviated fuel economy test today. This has been Christopher Brower here with Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.